Word on the street is we might be getting a Tony Hawk Underground remake, and I am not complaining about that. It's your boy Sage XP, and let's hop straight into it. So right here we have an article from IGN saying Tony Hawk has aspirations of getting a Tony Hawk's Underground remake, which is fire. Right here it says that if you've been hankering, by the way, what does hankering mean? I've never heard that word before. For a return to Tony Hawk's Underground, you're not alone. Tony himself is campaigning for a remake too. I've always had aspirations. Hawk told Screen Rant. It's not up to me generally. I'll campaign all I can, but I'm working with a much bigger company that's a lot smarter than me. But in actuality, you feel me? I feel like he downplaying himself, because it doesn't take rocket science to know that Tony Hawk Underground plus remake equals lots of money. Underground is probably my second favorite of this series in general. My first one is definitely American Wasteland. I highly doubt we'll get a remake for that, but if I could choose any series, you feel me, to go back to, easily, you know, Underground for sure. And they'll probably end up combining those two, the 1 and the 2, but it's just something about like the rawness of Underground that felt super different from the regular Pro Skaters. It's like, felt like the Pro Skaters was just like natural, you know, skateboarding, you know what you would expect, but Underground was just so raw, so ghetto. The levels was super different. It just gave like a really good vibe. Like, I wanted to explore the maps and I wanted to see what was going on. Plus the campaigns were super fire. Like, you feel me, we still saying forget Eric, you feel me? Like, who can forget my main boy Eric, bro? The craziest backstabber of all time, probably in history. You feel me? We do not mess with that boy. But they are supposed to be coming out with a 3+4 Pro Skater. But I do remember that we had talked about they're cutting out the free roaming, and apparently these had campaigns to them, but word on the street is that they might be cutting those campaigns out and it'll just be regular skating, and it's supposed to come out on July 11th. I'm still debating if I want to get this or not, because I have played 3 and 4, but I'm not like dying to get this. 1 and 2 was cool. I did enjoy that, and I really enjoyed getting that remake. But down here someone had made a comment saying that, well, here's the problem. Look at what they did for Pro Skater 4 here. They axed the campaign mode, and the reason for that is very likely that they no longer have the rights to do the NPC's voices, or didn't want to create new ones. I think what they're trying to do with this series is they're just trying to like reprint money, if that makes sense. Like, obviously combining the 1 and 2 instead of just remaking the one game, you feel me, you get 2 games into one. They just trying to reprint it. They're trying to touch it up, make it look nicer, you feel me, make sure that it runs smooth, you feel me, give us some of that nostalgic feel, you know, without having to put too much money into it. Because if I'm not mistaken, 1 and 2 had made 1 million copies. They sold 1 million copies in the first 2 weeks, which is, good, because I bet they didn't put too much money into, getting it remade. And if they have to pay like a whole bunch of actors and stuff like that, that probably astrays from what the actual company wants to do, versus Tony Hawk. He just wants to remake these games, or maybe he has deeper, aspirations of what he wants to do to add on, which is actually like kind of sick. And I do think that it's going to be another one of those, like, if you buy this game, if this game sells well, then boom, we'll move on to the next one. Because if this doesn't do well, I don't know if they're going to make Underground, which would put that into a really big situation. Really scared. But right here, this is kind of where I got that from, is that this comment says, aka, better buy this one if you all want more. And I think that's kind of the trend that they're moving with, is that they just want to make these games, you feel me, in order to like print the money and to see if we're gonna bait for it. But comment down below, do you guys think we should get an Underground 2? And if so, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and get caught up on all the hottest gaming news going on. Other than that, see ya.